morning. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Nick, and welcome to the Nick Gartside podcast. We have a lot going on today, especially within the digital marketing realm. Let me get my notes pulled up here, and we're going to get started because, man, there's so much. And the crazy part is you can still get in right now at the beginning. You could still get in right now as the early adopter. But before we get to that, let's talk about this microphone right here. We are now officially on so many platforms. If you're watching this live, we are right now live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. And we are live on LinkedIn. And then after we shoot these episodes, then we publish it to the podcast. And the podcast is going to go on 10 different platforms. And then on top of that, our new video editor is going to take all these episodes and it's going to turn them into shorts. So if you come sit right here, just right here, I believe you can do it. You're going to get all of that content. And we're going to talk about you instead of talking about me. Because Lord knows I like talking about me. I like educating you. So, hey, thank you guys for joining in this morning. Thank you for, if you thought about it. If you're like, I really want to do a podcast, but I don't know how to do it, come talk to me. Come be a guest. This is a great place to stop. But let's get in because you were here this morning because this is the morning marketing update with me, Nick Gartside. It's an honor to have you here. Let's get started. So make sure you have your coffee. Make sure that you turn up the volume a little bit so you can hear me. And we're going to lock into this, okay? So the search landscape is changing. Here we go, right? You ready? The big story this week is Google dropped the March 2026 core update, the total reset, and how authority is measured. Meanwhile, the Fortune 500 companies are waking up to GEO. The GEO is now replacing the SEO. And if you're not a business owner, and if you're a VP and up, or you're the business owner, or you're in charge of operations, if you're not aware of this, you are starting to get left behind. So today we're going to go over the KLT, the know-like structure we have here at Kinetic Curve, and how we turn your reviews into revenue. And please remember this, we are in the early adopter stage. So let's get right into this. The first part is become known, visibility. The GEO shift. Why? Ranking number 1 is no longer enough. A massive March 2026 report reveals that traditional search volume is projected to drop by 25% this year as new users migrate to answering engines like Perplexity, Gemini, ChatGPT, Siri, and other AIs. That pause there was because all of my devices, heard me and were like, oh, yeah, we want to talk to you, right? Research is showing that the AI engine is now having citation bias and ignoring known brands that are using third-party alternative sources. Brands are now racing to implement the lims.txt into the structured JSON, especially to be cited by AI. If you don't know what I just said, then you need to call me. If you don't have this working for you, you need to call me. If you aren't optimized for citations right now, if your website, that's what I'm talking about, your website is not optimized for citations right now, you're becoming invisible. In 2006, SEO is no longer about being found, it's being quoted as the definitive answer by AI. March 2026 entity core update. Let's continue on this. Unleash a new, as we talk about unleashing this update, right? The early data shows that it is brutal for sites that have topical sprawl. What does that mean? That means that the algorithm is now hyper-focused on the entity definition and reward sites that stay narrow and niched and punishing those that are trying to keyword hack their way into the AI overview. Google's also testing citation blocks at the bottom of the AI results, fundamentally changing the way the click-through patterns. What does this mean? 2 episodes back, I talked about the first 300 words of your website. Not keyword stuff in the bottom, But what's in the first 300 words where AI goes, oh, that's who you are. That's what you do. This is the problem you solve. And this is where you're located. Great. I got it. Now let me cite you. Oh, it goes through its 4-point check, and I still don't know who you are and what you do. Great. We're just going to push you this way. We're not even going to show you. The jack of all trades is officially dead in search. To stay known, you must own a specific niche. So thoroughly that Google's AI views your brand as an inseparable part of the topic's identity. Okay? What does this mean? This means that you're not going in and dumping all of your, hey, I want you to say this AI, and copy and pasting it into your website. Who are you? Here we go. You ready? I'm going to give you an absolute hack. What is your 30-second elevator pitch? Here's who I am. Here's what I do. Here's the problem I solve. And here's where I'm located. Let's try that again. Here's who I am. Here's what I do. Here's the problem I solve. Here's where I'm located. This is a 4-point check that needs to be in the first 300 words of your website. And if you don't know anything about website, it needs to be in the H1, H2, H3 correctly. And if you don't know what that means, you probably need to call me. Phase 2 of our know, like, trust. Now we're talking about being liked. What is the sentiment? How do people feel about you? How does AI feel about you? Major CX platforms have just launched AI autoresponders. That is literally our CRM, right? Autoresponders designed to allow businesses to scale review engagement with on-brand automation. Yes, you want to do it with a ... According to some different feedback, there's warnings against 85% of consumers still prioritize the value over the VIP perks, and they can sniff out a canned AI response a mile away. Yes, that's why you put prompts into the AI so that it responds organically. Here we go, right? You have a ClickFunnels. You have a website. Someone fills out the contact form, and they immediately get that text message response. They immediately get that email response. Your immediate tells that person this is an AI. Your immediate tells this person, hey, you're not important to me, so I'm just going to put you on the automation. Stop it. Build in timers. Have the AI feel more human. You will get a more positive engagement if you stop making it feel so cold and robotic. AI can be a force multiplier when used correctly. That's why we have AI reputation management. That's why we are specifically doing that, is for this reason. An automation tool is not the cure. We turn reviews into revenue by using AI to respond in seconds, not a second, seconds, because we want to keep the human engaged enough where they feel heard, not, please hear me with this, not processed. And you know exactly what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. I feel like I'm just another number to them. You need to stop that. Every client wants to feel heard. They want to feel important. How are you as the business helping to ensure that every one of your clients feels important? Because if you can, hear me with this, right? If you can make a client feel important, then those reviews turn into revenue. And here's how, right? They become someone who promotes you. They become a voice that is not your voice that is talking about what you do. They become an advocate for your brand. The best reviews are not me going, hey, look what I can do. It's that person over there going, hey, you need to go talk to you because you provide the solution. AI is coming in as a stakeholder, especially in the new reputation model. In 2026, reputation strategies have treated AI itself as a stakeholder because AI platforms, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, name it, Perplexity, right, operate continuously and at scale. They are now the primary gatekeepers of brand sentiment for investors and customers alike. If the stories AI is telling about you, about your brand, are based on outdated negative data, your reputation is eroded before a human even visits your website. Agreed. You forgot one here, right? I forgot one. Copilot. I'm like, Nick, I use Copilot for my PowerPoint. It's in my Microsoft Word document. Yes, but Copilot is directly integrated because it's Microsoft's AI is directly integrated into Bing Maps, which operates on Microsoft Edge. So you're saying, Nick, great, I got my Google done. Yeah, but you forgot about the rest of them. You forgot about the rest of the AIs. Here we go. You don't just have a reputation with people anymore. You have to have a reputation with large language models. If the AI doesn't like your brand's data, they will never recommend your brand to a customer to go visit. We are moving in a direction where your device will be your personal AI assistant. And based off of what the data, the fast data that AI can grab from within its own ecosystem and then verify third party, is going to determine whether or not it sends you that prospect. Number 3, right? When I talked about kinetic curve, we have a know, like, trust. Now we're going into the trust phase. Privacy as a business accelerator. The 2026 privacy stress test. In 2026 is being called the year of AI governance as the EU AI Act reaches its full operational implementation. Experts argue that companies are using dirty, non-consented data for their AI agents and are facing a massive hallucination risk and possible legal liabilities. Leading firms are now using content management as a quality filter, turning strict privacy compliance into a competitive advantage for trust. Okay. Yes. Here's what you need to know. What companies are doing is they're taking your data, and when you go search for another airline ticket, the airline ticket is a little bit up, right? Because it's saying, oh, you came back. It's tracking that. When you go to book like a Uber or another car service where they come up, pick you up, and take you, right? It's actually sharing your battery data. And if your battery's low, they're increasing the price. These are things you can go third-party research this yourself. It is 100% true. Go research it yourself. But sometimes when you click the consent button, you're not understanding that you're consenting to them looking at so much data that is on that device that you're probably listening to me on. This is why the government has to get rolled out. Okay? Why? Because trust is currency. In the world of AI hallucinations, a brand that can prove that its data is clean is going to be set to win, especially with high-ticket clients. Well, let's talk about now the CTO. And you may think I'm talking about the technology officer. I am not. This is the Chief Trust Officer. A 2026 executive trend shows the sudden rise in the CTO, the Chief Trust Officer, a role designed to bridge the gap between AI performance and marketing ethics. This role focuses on AI security, posture management, AI-SPM, to prevent prompt injections and ensure that the brand-owned AI tools are not leaking sensitive customer data or displaying bias. Okay, let's talk about this. just like whenever there is a change in technology, certain jobs go away and certain jobs are created. Here's what's created. If you are actively using AI and you are learning about AI and you're learning about how to structure it correctly and you're learning about governance, then yes, here we go. Governance isn't a boring back office task now. It's a marketing superpower. Why? Because the AI is testing your trust. It's testing your brand's trust. It's testing your brand to make sure that it is being honorable. And when you lead with market governance, hence why the Google is now asking for BBB, right? Accreditations. Google's now asking for, and other AIs are now asking for these different governance, like self-governing, right? Self-reporting to different governing agencies. You're telling the AI that your brand and your content is reliable, like a handshake. Now, are there going to be companies that are going to try to side this? Yes, of course there are. But the average user is using ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, Copilot, and Siri. And those are the AIs that have to trust your brand. So we have three things, and this is why it's important. One, visibility. Is your GEO locked in? You still need to have your SEO. That's not going away. You still have to do your SEO, but is your GEO locked in? Are you getting on the early adopter phase, or are you going to wait till it's already implemented and now you're playing catch up, right? What's your sentiment like? How are you using AI to win people over and win other AIs to your brand? And then how are you building trust with proactive governance versus reactive governance? And with everything I just said, if that went over your head, or you're like, wow, I didn't even know I need to do this. This is why I'm the founder of Kinetic Curve. This is what we are doing. We are helping large brands, regional, national brands implement all of this. We are also helping local businesses implement this. If you have a business with a location, if you have a business with an office, you need to get on the front of this, because the traditional ways of marketing over the next year to two are going to start falling by the wayside. If you are a CMO, VP, or director, and you're still measuring clicks and click-through rate and some other metrics, understand that those are going away. Here we go, right? You don't even have to trust me on this. How many of you use SEMrush? Go. I have no affiliate code. I am telling you this so you can go do your own research. Go to SEMrush, get the free version, pop in your website, and you'll see how it has the current way of doing things. And then over on the right side will be the new way of doing it. It already has the AI pieces built in. How does Gemini like you? How does ChatGPT like you? How does Gemini like you? It has all of that already built in. They are already on the front end of the shift. Now, why do I have two dashboards? Because you still got to do both right now. You absolutely still have to do both. But you need to get in on the front of this. Let's end with this. Whether you do it now or you do it later, this is the way. My name is Nick. Thank you for joining me today, whether you're on one of our social media channels or you're on my podcast. If you would love to come join me and sit right here and let me interview, let me interview so you can tell your story, you can drop some hot gold. I'd love to have you on the show, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.